This young man just casually pulled a weed by the roadside, but it turned out to be a panacea that cures all illnesses, increases lifespan, and is priceless. The white cabbage he usually uses for soup is also sought after by everyone like a legendary spirit herb. The poor fear having no money while someone as rich as him only fears being crushed to death by it. What kind of fortune is this? The story is a few days ago, while preparing some vegetables and noodles, he accidentally got injured, and his blood dripped onto an heirloom ring. As a result, he directly transmigrated to the cultivation world of the Tongu continent. While he was still confused, wondering where he was and who he was, everyone went crazy over the cabbage in his hand. Wasn't that the legendary spirit herb? After careful examination, he realized his ring could traverse between the two worlds. Whatever damn thing he brought from Earth here was considered a rare treasure. But conversely, things brought from the cultivation world back to Earth became useless. A moment later, he arrived at the auction house, Wanbao Pavilion, to watch the excitement. The first auction item was the high-grade Huang rank technique, Banshan Jue from the Wuxing Holy Land, amazing everyone. The starting price was 300,000 gold coins. A young man in the VIP seats directly raised the price to 3 million, 10 times the starting price, stunning everyone. He was Lin Yunkai, the young master of the wealthiest Lin family here. Suddenly an arm raised to bid. It was none other than Yi Fan. He bid 30 million, raising the price 100 times, silencing everyone. Was this guy crazy? That amount of money could buy the entire Liu Yun city? Lin Yunkai's face darkened, but he couldn't do anything, only helplessly watch the Huang rank technique fall into his Yi Fan's hands. Immediately after auction head, Nellen brought out the finale treasure of today's auction, the Deng Tianling Ascending Heaven token. Starting price 2 million gold coins. Everyone immediately buzzed. Unexpectedly, it was the legendary Deng Tianling. Yi Fan lazily asked the guy next to him what it was. He replied that this Deng Tianling was gifted by a Holy Land elder to a destined person while traveling the mortal world. It could bypass all requirements and allow direct entry into the Holy Land for cultivation. Beside him, young Master Lin sneered. He came here this time specifically for it. That country bumpkin didn't even know what the Deng Tianling was, yet dared to compete with him here. While he was still thinking disdainfully, Chairman Yifan directly bid 100 million. Shocking everyone to the core, their mouths agape, unable to close. Nellen immediately sealed the deal. She thought to herself, caught a big fish today. Everyone only saw the auction head's greedy face. Closing such a good deal so quickly without procedure, at least follow the steps. Then she quickly led him Yi Fan to a private room for payment. Before leaving, Nalen cheerfully reminded, "Young master, take your time, my people are always waiting outside." After confirming she had left, he took off the ring and tossed it into the air. This was how Yi Fan transmigrated back to Earth. Yi Fan looked at the basket of soon-to-spoil vegetables at his home, his mind full of calculations. A day later, auction head Nalen couldn't stand it anymore, thinking this guy had scammed her. So she barged into his room just as Yi Fan was opening the door. As a result, he benefited from 2 large round fruits pressing against him. Nalan awkwardly asked about the gold coins, but inwardly cursed. This guy dared to take advantage of me today. If he doesn't have the money, I'll show him what a festival. Yi Fan with a contemplative face, "I don't have money." The 2 guards outside immediately rushed in. "Brothers, get him for me. I told you this guy was all talk. Where would he get 100 million gold coins? Suddenly, he presented a brightly glowing spirit herb before her eyes. He humbly said, "I can use this for exchange." The 2 guards were still stunned, while Nalen had already recognized the item in his hand. This is Longwei Sao Dragontail grass. Legend says it has miraculous effects in healing external injuries. Even uninjured people can extend their lifespan by using it. A priceless spirit herb. Beside her, Yi Fan curiously asked, "If this isn't enough, I have other things." Then he directly brought out a basket full of various spirit herbs and divine medicines. They immediately exclaimed, "Is this guy hacking? One plant is one thing, but he has a whole basket." Moreover, his expression treats these things like trash he casually took out. Nalen also gasped, "This basket must be worth at least 200 million gold coins." He silently recalled that yesterday he just pulled some weeds in front of his apartment building. Haha, at this rate he could buy the entire cultivation world. Nalan then did a 180 like an ex-lover, respectfully wanting to buy these spirit medicines from him. Yi Fan stated, "The Long Wei cow costs 400 million gold coins." If you accept this price, then you're the one indebted to me, right? She happily replied, our store has plenty. Young master can choose whatever you want. A moment later, he was seen carrying almost the entire shop out, shocking everyone. Haven't you seen a rich person spend money before, darlings? He happily told auction head Nalan, the money you still owe me, I'll come collect later. She replied, welcome back anytime, young master. A guard glanced at her and asked, shopkeeper, he took all the precious treasures of our Wanbao pavilion. She replied, you don't understand. This is called a long-term investment. After speaking, she thought, someone who can take out so many heavenly materials and earthly treasures, yet treats them like trash. Can he be an ordinary person? Meanwhile, after walking a long distance, Yifan suddenly stopped. In front of him, a group of bandits holding weapons stared coldly. Kid, hand over the technique and the Dung Tianling immediately and we'll let you live. However, he wasn't flustered at all, even raising his middle finger contemptuously saying, just relying on trash like you want to catch me. You'll have to wait at least a few hundred more years. Hearing this, the bandit charged forward, slashing with his sword while yelling, die! Just then, Yifan suddenly shouted, Earth escape technique, go! With a bang, he disappeared without a trace, leaving the bandit stunned, eyes wide, not understanding what just happened. Back on Earth. Yifan sighed in relief. Luckily, I still have transmigration chances left. Unexpectedly, the fantasy world is full of such blatant murder and robbery. My ancient ring can only transmigrate once a day. It seems I was too careless spending so much money at the auction without disguise. I'll definitely run into trouble. I must quickly learn this technique to protect myself. Previously, he never wanted to cultivate because the techniques of the Tonggu continent were too difficult to understand, not knowing where to start. But when he opened a technique book, he was surprised to find he could see images inside. Haha, wait, is this technique actually this simple? He frowned. So that's how it is. If I bring techniques from the other world back here, learning them becomes much easier. Then I will surely become a peerless master, hehe. Time flew like a hunting dog in a field. Soon, half a month had passed. In an empty lot, a powerful fist strike echoed, hitting a large boulder in front, causing it to explode, revealing Yifan standing behind it. He looked at the shattered rocks, sighed in relief. I succeeded. After days of diligently cultivating the Banshanjuo and nourishing his body with plants from Earth, he had progressed at lightning speed. Perhaps because he came from Earth, his body had evolved on the Tonggu continent. The punch just now definitely had strength equivalent to 200 jin. Not only that, his internal organs were also strengthened. Although externally he was only at the introductory level of the body tempering realm, his actual strength was comparable to an internal organ realm martial artist. This was the first step into the martial artist world, but his face had been exposed at the auction. Surely more people would target him. He needed to redouble his efforts. While thinking, he suddenly heard cries for help echoing from afar. Looking in that direction, a group of people in wild attire were being attacked by a pack of wolves. The ferocious eyes of a wolf flashed as it lunged towards a little girl in the group. But just then, a sudden punch flew out, shattering the wolf's jaw and breaking all its teeth. Ivan had appeared, taking down the wolf in an instant. Hearing the noise, the group turned back, seeing the scene of the wolf being knocked down. Its injured companion enraged another wolf. It raised its head and howled long, preparing to attack. Yifan clenched his fists, stood protectively in front of the little girl, and coldly said, "Just right, I'll use these beasts to practice my hand feel." Immediately, the pack of wolves charged, growling fiercely. Yifan shouted loudly, unleashing a powerful fist strike, knocking down the entire pack of wolves, making them roll like sandbags, perfect for his practice. Yifan sighed lightly, rotated his wrist, and casually said, "Finally done." This action astonished the surrounding people, who couldn't help exclaiming, "This young hero is truly extraordinary." Amidst the dense forest, Yifan gently swung his hand. A single chop felled a large tree. Not stopping there, the entire nearby forest was almost leveled by him in just a moment. At this moment, the little girl he had saved earlier walked over holding a cup of water and softly said, "Big brother Yifan, you're so amazing. My name is Mu Rorwo." After witnessing the scene, the group immediately started harvesting the wood together. The little girl happily said, "Thanks to these logs, the new houses for our Mu village can finally be built." Yifan took the cup, drank a sip, and smiled. It's nothing, just a small matter. Recalling earlier, after saving the group, they had enthusiastically invited him back to the village as a guest. Mu Tai, the village chief's son, sincerely said, "Little brother, my name is Mu Tai. Today we were lucky you saved my daughter and the villagers. We owe you a debt of gratitude. Although your martial arts are superb, it's still very dangerous in these mountains. How about coming back to Mu village with us? It's safer there." And so, after dealing with the wolves, Yifan received a warm welcome from the unfamiliar villagers. Unwilling to refuse their sincerity, he agreed to go with them. Moreover, he also needed a quiet place to cultivate the Banshanjue, so he readily agreed. Over the past few days, Yifan had broken through from the body-tempering realm to the peak of the bone-refining realm. However, recently, the speed of his strength increase seemed to slow down. Perhaps he had encountered a cultivation bottleneck. According to the Banshanju, to break through to the internal organ realm, one needed to cultivate the 6 Fu organs and 5 Zhang organs, strengthening them to the point where they could even digest stone. Eating the internal organs of high-level demonic beasts was also an effective way to overcome this threshold. Yifan thought, when I return to Earth, I'll buy some internal organs to nourish myself. Meanwhile, Mu Ti and the villagers had finished packing their belongings onto the horse cart. He turned to Yifan, inviting him to the market fair. Brother Yifan, since you're free anyway, how about coming to the market fair with us to take a look? Along the way, vendors' calls echoed lively. Top-grade wolf pelts here, large wild boar tusks effective against evil spirits, fresh hemostatic grass, don't miss out. It was indeed the people from Mu village selling their hunted goods. Mu Ti smiled brightly, turned to Yifan. Thanks to Brother Bai, the top-grade wolf pelts are all sold out. Yifan smiled. Uncle Mu Tai, you're too kind. At this moment, Ruoruo ran over, tugging Yifan's hand. Since everything's sold, let me take you around to play. Big brother Yifan, I want to buy Tanghulu. Yifan happily nodded. Wait for Uncle Mu. Tai to finish packing up, then we'll go together. But Mu Tai immediately waved his hand. You two go ahead. Remember to be careful and come back quickly. So Ruoruo dragged Yifan away. He couldn't help but be surprised, thinking, Big brother Mu Tai, are you really comfortable entrusting your daughter to someone you just met like me? The two strolled around the market. Ruoruo held the Tanghulu happily, saying, Big brother Yifan is really good to Ruoruo. Yifan smiled, urging, Let's go back or your father will worry. But just then, pleading cries echoed from afar. Stop hitting! Please show mercy! Ruoruo immediately recognized her father's familiar voice. Yifan quickly led the little girl towards the gathering crowd. When they arrived, the scene before them made Ruoruo unable to hold back her tears. A group of uniformed men were fiercely attacking Uncle Mu, shouting incessantly, Lowly commoner, where did you come from? Truly blind fools. The two men were beaten continuously, only able to cover their heads and endure without resisting. Ruoruo hurriedly dropped the half-eaten Tanghulu from her hand, ran over and cried out, Father! Second uncle! Stop! What right do you have to beat my father? Seeing this, Uncle Mu Tai worriedly shouted, Ruoruo, don't come here! But one of the men saw the little girl and flew into a rage, kicking straight towards Ruoruo, yelling, Where did this wild brat come from? You want to die! Just as the kick was about to hit the girl's face, Yifan appeared like a gust of wind, grabbing his leg firmly, his eyes cold as he snapped it. The man jumped up in pain, screaming, Ah, my leg! Yifan looked at him, his voice full of contempt. A late-stage body-gathering man viciously attacking a 13-year-old girl who doesn't know martial arts. Are you a pig or a dog? The man clutched his leg, his face full of fear but still roaring, Who the hell are you to dare lecture me? Beat him up for me! The other men charged forward in unison. One man holding a sword recklessly charged, but was sent flying far away by Yifan's single punch, crashing into the group behind him. Not stopping, he continued to stomp hard on another man's chest, suffocating him, his voice stern. Can I lecture you now? The man was terrified, immediately begging, I don't dare anymore, master, spare my life. Meanwhile, a man with lots of hair holding a large saber stood behind, silently assessing, this kid so young yet already reached the bone-refining realm. Yifan grabbed the man's collar, asking harshly, Why were you beating people in the middle of the street? Answer, or the next fist lands on your head. Just then, second uncle came over and patted his shoulder. Little you, stop. They are people from the city lord's mansion. We shouldn't provoke them. Ifan frowned, asking Uncle Tai, what exactly is going on here? The man with lots of hair stepped forward. Let me answer you. These blind fools bumped into our young Mrs. Carriage. They deserved to have their legs broken by the horse. Yet they still dared to seek out our young miss to argue. How many heads do you have? I am Jo Heng, commander of the city lord's mansion guards. Uncle Moo stood up, retorting, You're talking nonsense. It was clearly your carriage that lost control and hit Uncle Nam. We just came up to ask a couple of questions and you started beating people. But Uncle Moo quickly stopped him. Moo Lee, say no more. This matter is our fault. He knelt down before the carriage, trembling, clasping his hands in plea. Young miss, this is our fault. Please have mercy considering my brother's broken leg and spare us lowly commoners this once. Ifan, standing aside, immediately grasped the core of the matter. The young miss of the city lord's mansion. From ancient times, commoners couldn't fight officials. No wonder Uncle Tai didn't want to get involved. Inside the carriage, a hand gently lifted the curtain. A cold voice sounded, Since you were wrong, pay the price for your mistake. Inside, a purple-haired girl appeared. It was Lan Shinger, the young miss of the city lord's mansion. As soon as she finished speaking, she ordered Jo Heng, the man with thick hair. Jo Heng cut off their legs as a lesson. Mooley, standing behind, couldn't help but want to curse, but Uncle Moo, though drenched in sweat, tried to remain calm. Is the young miss of the city lord's mansion really this cruel? Lan Shinger just laughed loudly, her voice sinister. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, you only lose your legs while I lost my mood for a stroll. Jo Heng, do it. Jo Heng stepped forward with his large saber, his voice mocking. A bunch of crude farmers dirtying the young miss's eyes. Die. Just as the saber was about to hit its target, Ifan appeared, blocking the blade with one hand. His face was calm, while Jo Heng's expression changed, shocked. Ifan formed a palm with his fist, shouting loudly, Get lost! Then he launched a powerful palm strike at Jo Heng's face, making him widen his eyes. What unbelievable! Shu Hing, despite his burly figure, quickly dodged the blow. Ifan stood protectively in front of the person about to be attacked, asking, Are you okay? The man shook his head. No, I'm fine. On the other side, Ruoruo, seeing the scene, burst into tears, crying out, Big brother Ifan! Lan Shinger was annoyed. Where did this bastard come from, daring to oppose me? Ifan charged forward, throwing a punch. Die, wild pig! Jo Heng quickly blocked with his large saber. But as soon as Yifan's fist made contact, the blade shattered, shocking him. How could he break my treasured sword with just one move? Jo Heng raised his arms to block in front of him. But Yifan's punch still broke through, hitting his chest. Jo Heng was sent flying far away, spitting blood. The surrounding guards quickly ran over. Boss, are you okay? The watching crowd laughed loudly. Ha 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 ha, truly eye-opening, first time seeing the city lord's mansion commander beaten so badly. Someone nearby quickly reminded, Keep your voice down or we both might end up in jail. Jo Heng struggled to stand, pushed the guard's hand away, roaring like a mad dog. Get lost! I must personally kill this guy! Immediately, he released his blood key, immersing himself in a blazing red peak state. This scene greatly astonished Ifan. Before he could react, the bald man Jo Heng charged from somewhere, unleashing fierce lion's roar punches aimed at him. Ivan's pupils contracted. He wondered, what the hell is happening? The bald man laughed loudly while shouting, Ha 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 ha. Truly a poor wretch doesn't even know any martial techniques. Your grandpa has reached the early stage of the blood condensation realm. Isn't releasing blood chi enough to defeat a bone-refining brat like you? But just as he finished speaking, Yifan's fist shot straight into his face. Yifan coldly said, If you're 2 realms higher than me but only have this much strength, you're truly weak. His punch slammed hard into the bald man's face, sending him flying, teeth and lips, mixed face disfigured. He was knocked to the ground, causing the surrounding guards to scream in terror. Boss! This scene also made Uncle Moo and the others stare wide-eyed and slack-jawed, unable to believe it. The bald man coughed up a large mouthful of blood, still not understanding. He doesn't even know martial techniques. How can he be so strong? Ruoruo ran over and hugged Yifan tightly, worriedly, asking, Big brother Ifan, are you okay? He patted her head gently, replying, Ruoruo, don't worry. I'm fine. Yifan then checked his body again, concluding, it seems my body from Earth is also like a godlike existence in this world. My strength surpassed this realm long ago. Meanwhile, that young miss was burning with anger, ordering truly useless men. Quickly go to the city, Lord's mansion, mobilize troops, capture all these lowly commoners, and throw them all into the dungeon. Hearing this, the guards knelt in unison to receive the order. Yes, young miss. Uncle Moo worriedly exclaimed, it's over. If the soldiers come, everyone in our village will meet a bad end. I heard no one who enters the dungeon in the city lord's mansion ever comes out whole. Just then a carriage suddenly appeared. Inside was the figure of shopkeeper Nalan. She softly spoke, young Miss Lan, your official authority is quite impressive. Her voice made Yifan and everyone else turn their heads. Taking a puff from a pipe, she said, carriage crashing into innocent people in the street, treating human lives like dirt. Abusing official power. Has this Yan country changed owners, becoming the property of your Lan family? That young miss glared over, asking, what do you mean by that? Nalan slowly stepped out of the carriage. Young Miss Lan's carriage hitting people in the street. I saw it with my own eyes. Are you still going to babble nonsense? Then she walked closer to Yifan, bowed slightly, and said, young Master Bai, we meet again. Yifan quickly helped her up. Shopkeeper Nalan, no need for formalities. This scene made Ruoruo and the villagers stare, wide-eyed jaws dropped. Big brother Yifan, you two know each other. Just now I heard others say this beautiful big sister is the shopkeeper of Wanbao Pavilion, the largest trading house in Liuyun City. How does big brother Yifan know such an important figure? That young miss saw this, and mockingly said, unexpectedly, the esteemed shopkeeper Nalan actually knows a bunch of lowly commoners. Truly broadens one's horizons. The people are the root of a nation. Young Miss Lan as the young miss of Liuyun City, yet you constantly call the citizens lowly this and base that. I wonder what kind of shockwaves these words will cause when they reach the royal city. Nalanu, you dare threaten me? Threaten I wouldn't dare, but if you want to take them away today, you must first pass through the gate of this Wanbao Pavilion. At this point, the young miss pondered thoughtfully. Wanbao Pavilion is the top trading guild in Yan country with a solid foundation and masters like clouds. Offending them would have unimaginable consequences. Saying that, she smiled like a flower. Since shopkeeper Nalan has agreed to help these people, I am also willing to make an exception and spare them this once. Seeing them quickly leave, the Mu villagers were overjoyed. Afterwards, Yifan and the villagers were brought back to Wanbao Pavilion by Nalan. Yifan spoke his thanks. Today I really must thank shopkeeper Nalan very much. She waved her hand slightly. It's a small matter. Men take the brothers from Mu village to the guest room to check their injuries. A subordinate acknowledged and led everyone inside. At this moment, Ruoro gently tugged Yifan's sleeve, asking, Big brother Yifan, why did this beautiful and rich big sister help us? What relationship do you have with her? Yifan rubbed his chin. To be honest, she owes me money. Ruoro gasped in surprise, mouth agape. Huh, she owes you money! Not long after, Nalan sat with Yifan sipping tea and congratulating him. Congratulations, young Master Bai, on breaking through to the bone-refining realm. To reach this realm at this age is unprecedented in the history of Liuyun City. If you hadn't intervened today, I probably couldn't have taken so many people away. Nalan gently poured tea for Yifan and asked, But this servant is very curious. If you can easily obtain so much long wei tao, why hide away in a rural village living with those commoners? Yifan suddenly lowered his voice. Shopkeeper Nalan, let me give you a piece of advice. He looked straight at her, his gaze sharp and cold. What you should know, I will let you know. As for what you shouldn't know, don't probe further. Nalan hurriedly nodded. Yes, 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 Yifan continued. Speaking of long wei cow shopkeeper, Nalan, didn't you still owe me 3.3 million taels of gold from last time? Have you prepared enough yet? Nalan was slightly embarrassed. I'm still a little short. But our new shipment has arrived. Does young Master Bai want to take a look? If you like anything, you can take it directly. Yifan showed interest. Are you serious? Hey, of course it's true. Speaking of this, Yifan recalled his confrontation with the guard commander. I remember fighting with the city lord's mansion guard commander just now. He used a fist-type martial technique. He looked at Nalan and asked, "Do you have martial techniques?" Nalan then led Yi Fan to the technique storage area of Wanbao Pavilion. Over here are all the newly arrived martial techniques of Wanbao Pavilion. Young Master Bai can choose as you please. This is Chuan Shanzhu Mountain Piercing Finger, a low-grade Huang rank martial technique of finger art. Practiced to minor completion, it can pierce through mountains and rocks. And this is Heijiao Zhang, a mid-grade Huang rank martial technique brought from the southern wasteland. Cultivation requires black sand, a specialty of the southern wasteland. This technique is called Chuan Hua Shou, famous for its flexibility and agility. Although Nalan introduced many techniques, Yi Fan was still not satisfied. Finally, Nalan took down a technique book from the highest shelf, concluding, "Well then, only this last one remains." It was a technique book named Ying Quan. She introduced it. "This is Shadow Fist, the most precious technique we have here, Peak Huang rank." Yi Fan rubbed his chin, thinking, "Peak Huang rank, is this the one you mentioned?" In the main hall area outside Wanbao Pavilion, the little girl Ruoruo was sitting alone when she suddenly saw Yi Fan and Nalan walk out. To achieve introductory mastery of this Peak Huang rank technique, even geniuses must undergo 2 to 3 months of arduous training. Ruoruo quickly ran over and hugged Yi Fan, her voice full of joy. "Big brother Yi Fan, you finally appeared." Yi Fan frowned, asking with concern, "Ruoruo, why did you come out here? Didn't I tell you to rest in the guest room?" Ruoruo quickly replied, "I was worried about you, so I came out to see what was happening." Seeing this, Nalan couldn't help but sigh. The affection between young Master Bai and little sister Ruoruo is truly deep. Outsiders looking might even think they are biological siblings. Yi Fan smiled gently, pinching Ruoruo's cheek. Truly a little tale that sticks close. Then he took a piece of cloth from his pocket. This cloth turned out to be a shiny new set of clothes, his voice full of excitement. "That's right, Ruoruo. Take this and try it on." Seeing the clothes, Ruoruo's eyes suddenly lit up. Is this a gift for me?" Nalan leaned down slightly, whispering into the girl's ear. "That's right, little sister Ruoruo. Young Master Bai specifically prepared this for you." Earlier, after looking around, Yi Fan had noticed these clothes and decided to buy them. "These clothes are very beautiful. Please wrap them up for me." Hearing this, Nalan couldn't hide her admiration. Young Master's aesthetic sense is truly refined. This Huo Shu Liu Shan outfit is made from top-grade fire silkworms. Not only is it exquisite and beautiful, but it can also warm the meridians and benefit yin, very suitable as a gift for a girl. Just then, someone rushed in from outside, pointing afar, voice full of worry. "Second uncle is not doing well." Everyone immediately ran to second uncle's side, only to find him lying unconscious on the sickbed. An old doctor examined second uncle for a moment, then shook his head helplessly. Second uncle is severely injured. Bones are broken, blood vessels damaged. Unless a legendary mighty figure intervenes or a rare divine medicine is found, it's difficult to save him. But where in this world can one find such a mighty figure, where to find so many divine medicines? While everyone was at a loss, Yi Fan suddenly said confidently, "Perhaps there really is." That night, at a clinic in Yi Fan's modern world, it was closing time. A young man yawned, long tired. "Finally closing time, that's it for work today." But just as he closed the door, Yi Fan suddenly pushed it open forcefully with both hands, revealing moonlight shining on the young man's face. He was so scared his face turned pale. Yi Fan widened his eyes, flashing a trustworthy smile. "Heh." That same night, several people in Mu Village were still keeping watch by second uncle's side. A long time had passed, but Yi Fan hadn't returned, making Ruoruo extremely worried. "It's already dark. Why hasn't big brother Yi Fan come back yet?" Just then, a pair of feet quietly stepped in. "I'm back." Yi Fan presented a plant to the old doctor, his voice full of confidence. "Dr. Tai, see if these medicinal materials can be used." The old doctor looked at the glowing thing before him, eyes wide, mouth agape. "Holy crap! This is 碧血七令花底藏白虫草王. Wenling qi xing ye. These are all priceless spirit medicines hard to find in the world. No problem at all, guaranteed to cure him." He never expected that after living so long, this would be the first time witnessing so many spirit medicines appear simultaneously. Conversely, Ruoruo saw Yi Fan's injured arm and asked worriedly, Big brother Yifan, what happened to your arm? Ivan gave a wry smile, recalling when he went to the pharmacy earlier. He looked inside and said, If you mess with me, you better know your place. Safflower, Noda ginseng, verbena, and all the medicines for leg injuries, bring them all out for Grandpa Bai. Seeing his dangerous demeanor, the young pharmacist exclaimed in fear, It's not a ghost, is it? He then slammed the door shut with a bang, catching Yifan's hand, causing him to cry out in pain. Yifan could only smile bitterly, thinking back. Time passed too quickly. When I returned to the modern era, I still thought I was in the bone-refining realm. 3 days had passed. Little Roru, wearing her new clothes, stood in the kitchen, glanced towards him, and asked, Second uncle told you to rest more. Why did you come down here? On the other side, second uncle, already feeling better, stood in the kitchen. Hearing the question, he replied, My health, I know it well myself. This leg is as hard as stone now. Don't worry too much. Right, where is your big brother Yifan? He went hunting. Said sick people need lots of nutrition. He was also acting mysterious and didn't let me follow. Meanwhile, Yifan was facing a ferocious evil serpent attacking him. The snake coiled tightly around his body. But Yifan remained calm, formed a fist, and landed a heavy blow on the snake, making it pause. Didn't feel a damn thing. The snake looked at him with eyes full of confusion. Immediately after, it opened its drooling mouth and lunged to bite Yifan. But he just sneered, Bag. As soon as he spoke, the snake exploded into scattered pieces of flesh. Yifan quickly snatched its heart and said, This shadow fist is indeed very strong. He had broken through to the mid-stage internal organ realm. As day turned to night, Yifan had collected a pile of beast hearts. He sighed, finally done. Nalan Nu once said peak Huang rank techniques are extremely difficult to understand. To master the basics, even a genius needs 3 months of hard training. But after being simplified on Earth, this complex secret manual became an explanation for idiots. If she knew I've now reached perfection in Shadow Fist, and even broken through to the late-stage internal organ realm, she'd probably be shocked enough to drop her jaw. Thinking of that, he looked disgusted, recalling the taste he had to endure. But for breaking through to the Zhuangyuan realm, I madly ate animal organs for several days straight. That taste is truly unforgettable for a lifetime. Ruoruo brought Yifan a bubbling pot of soup and said, Big brother Yifan, today it's your favorite soup again. Pig cheeks, chicken intestines, duck kidneys, goat liver, snake gall. Yifan didn't dare think further, quickly grabbed the basket of beast hearts and said, Going to get some wild meat for Uncle Nom to nourish his body, then I'll be back. Oh right, I'll pick some wild fruits too. That brat Ruoro loves them. As he sat sighing just then, several throwing darts shot out from behind him. Yifan immediately sensed them and jumped away, dodging the assassination darts. Since you're here, stop hiding, come on out. From above, several black-clothed men jumped down, holding weapons and laughing loudly. Ha ha, kid, didn't expect you to notice. They quickly surrounded Yifan and said, Then don't blame us later for not leaving your corpse intact. Yifan narrowed his eyes, glanced sideways at them, and asked, Was it young Miss Lan of the City Lord's mansion who sent you? One of them gripped his saber tightly and replied, You don't need to worry about that. In short, someone offered a very high price for your life. As soon as he finished, they all charged at Yifan, swinging their sabers. Brothers, go, 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 kill them! Yifan easily dodged the opponent's attacks, assessing inwardly 1 late-stage internal organ realm, 2 attacking simultaneously with sabers. But immediately he quickly dodged again, identifying 2 early-stage internal organ realm. As soon as he finished speaking, Yifan landed, unleashing a powerful leg sweep, causing 3 opponents to fall to the ground. He muttered softly, And 3 peak bone-refining realm cultivators, too. The person who hired you really dares to burn money. But Yifan didn't have time to play around, as he knew Ruoro would worry if he was late. Not playing with you anymore, he said, then quickly used the shadow fist technique, unleashing a series of lightning-fast punches at the opponents' faces. Those guys were beaten badly, falling and rolling like falling figs. One opponent looked up, eyes full of astonishment. Martial technique. You actually know a martial technique. The intelligence said you were just a bone-refining cultivator, knowing no martial techniques whatsoever. Yifan chuckled lightly. Perhaps your intelligence was mistaken. The opponent trembled, saying his strength just now was enough to shatter our organs and bones, but he deliberately didn't kill. Controlling strength with such precision, Yifan stomped hard on the man's chest, asking, "Speak quickly, who hired you? Tell me and I'll give you a quick death." The opponent coldly replied, "Humph, go find out on the streets. Our Ansha Men is the largest assassin organization in Liuyun City. Even if we die, we will never betray our clients. Do it kill us." Yifan frowned slightly. "Oh, unexpectedly stubborn. Then I won't make things difficult for you anymore. Assassination gate, right? I'll pay double the price to buy the life of the one who hired you. Is this deal attractive?" The opponent shook his head. "Our assassination gate consists of professional assassins. We are never bought." But when Yifan took out a huge silver ingot, the man's eyes immediately bulged, exclaiming, "Holy crap! Unless it's money you really can't refuse." Immediately, the whole group knelt down, chanting in unison, "Lord, rest assured, Assassination Gate guarantees that within Baiyun City, no assassin will dare accept a mission against you. We will report back soon with information about the client after completing the mission." Yifan sneered coldly, "Regardless of your background, you want to kill me. Taste the consequences yourselves. But I also need to find a way to buy a few more martial techniques. At least break through to the blood condensation realm, then I can confidently walk around Liuyun City." The next day, young Miss Lan, the city lord's daughter, walked down the street, her face full of anger. "That little bitch Nalan Nu daring to make an enemy of me over some lowly country bumpkins? Does she think my city lord's mansion wouldn't dare touch her Wanbao pavilion?" Beside her young master, Lin Yunkai hurried to follow, fanning her to cool her anger, flattering, "Our Shinger knows the bigger picture. Naturally, she wouldn't fuss over that Nalan Nu. Don't be angry, it's bad for your health." He took out a golden hairpin, smiling. "Look, this is the newest golden hairpin from Zhenbao Pavilion. I waited in line for a long time to buy it. Wear it, don't be angry anymore." Lan Shinger snorted coldly. "That's slightly better." But the next second, her gaze suddenly stopped, eyes widening as she stared ahead. "Wait, that's..." The person she saw was Yifan. How is he still alive? She turned around, slapped Lin Yunkai hard across the face, screaming, "Lin Yunkai, you trash! Didn't you say you'd kill that lowly commoner for me? Why is he still alive and grinning, appearing here? That guy got slapped until his mouth was crooked, crying in disbelief, while she cursed furiously. "I spent a huge sum to hire professional assassins. They couldn't have failed. Trash, trash, trash. You're truly useless. I still have to deal with him myself." The sycophantic boyfriend quickly chased after Shinger. "Don't walk so fast, wait for me." Yifan sought out Nalan. She immediately asked, "Martial techniques. Didn't young master just buy a peak Huang rank martial technique book before? Why are you in such a hurry to buy new techniques?" Hearing this, Yifan replied, "You don't need to worry about this. Right now, besides money, I have nothing else." After hearing this, Nalan fell silent, obedient, as a puppy not daring to utter half a word, only replying, "Okay, okay, okay." Then she handed Yifan a book and said, "But it's quite a coincidence. Yesterday, Wanbao Pavilion just received a new shipment preparing for auction. This high-grade Huang rank Piao Shu Bu is a movement technique surely fitting your requirements." Yifan smiled lightly. "Shopkeeper Nalan, from now on, if there are high-rank techniques, no need for auction, I'll take them all." But just as he finished, a mocking laugh echoed from afar. "Well, well, well, what arrogant nonsense is this poor country bumpkin spouting? Shopkeeper Nalan, whatever items this guy looked at today, I'll buy them all. No matter his price, I'll pay 3 times as much just to buy his displeasure." Nalan smiled calmly, replying, "My apologies, young Miss Lan. Wanbao Pavilion is open for business. The rule has always been whoever bids higher gets the item." Hearing this, young Miss Lan pointed at Yifan, her voice full of contempt. "What could this lowly commoner dare to outbid me? What kind of joke is this? If he can afford it, I'll crawl out of Wanbao Pavilion in front of everyone today." Yifan smirked slightly. "Huh, are you serious?" Young Miss Lan sneered, replying, "My word is my bond. Many people here can witness, but if you can't pay..." She lifted her foot, laughing loudly. "Then kneel and lick my shoes." Yifan didn't reply but turned to Nalan, presenting an item. "If that's the case, shopkeeper Nalan, please calculate the bill." "I can't wait to see this good show anymore." The surrounding crowd saw the item in Yifan's hand. Everyone's eyes widened, jaws dropped. "Wait, isn't that the most revered Xiang Yunling of Wanbao Pavilion?" Some who didn't know asked, "Xiang Yunling, What's that? Is it very powerful? Actually, the Xiangyun Ling is a token made specifically for special VIP customers of Wanbao Pavilion, symbolizing supreme status. Its owner can directly take any treasure without participating in the auction. Someone in the crowd added, most importantly, the Xiangyun Ling allows unlimited credit within Wanbao Pavilion. Liuyun City has over 2 million people, but owners of the Xiangyun Ling can be counted on one hand. What background does this young man have for Wanbao Pavilion to value him so highly? Yifan heard the crowd's discussion, just smirked slightly, thinking, actually, a few days ago, when treating Uncle Munum at Wanbao Pavilion, Naylin clung tightly to my leg, crying, Grandpa Bai, young Master Bai, those healing medicines from just now, please have mercy and sell us a little. I replied, Shopkeeper Naylin, do I need to remind you that you still haven't paid me back fully? As soon as I finished, she took out the Xiangyun Ling and explained, this Xiangyun Ling is the most revered token of our Wanbao Pavilion. I'll use this to exchange for a bit of those medicines. How about it? Yifan took the token and happily replied, Xiangyun Ling, what does it do, tell me first. Now Lan Xinger's face was dark-looking, just like a nasty creditor's. She couldn't hide her shock and anger. How can this be you? Why do you have the Xiangyun Ling? Even my father never possessed this. Seeing Lan Xinger's indignant expression, Yifan just casually twirled the token in his hand, smirking mockingly. Didn't young Miss Lan promise just now to pay 3 times the price? I can pay 30 times, 300 times, even 3,000 times. If young Miss Lan can't bid higher, then this is when you start crawling. On the other side, a young master was grabbing another person's shoulder, yelling, Did you see my Chinger? She's the young miss of our city lord's mansion. Beautiful, as a fairy, charming and gorgeous with an exceptionally special aura. Hearing this, a man standing nearby burst out laughing, Ha 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 ha, that young miss of the city lord's mansion. Whether she's beautiful I don't know, but her aura is indeed very special. At this moment, Lan Xinger was crawling on the ground amidst the mocking laughter of the crowd. Ha ha ha, worthy of the young miss, her word is her bond, truly unretractable. Hurry up, young miss, before it gets dark. Just then, the young master ran in, witnessing this scene, mouth agape in shock. Xinger! As for Lan Xinger, she wept inwardly, heart full of resentment. Hateful, 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 I have never suffered such humiliation before. Yifan looked at her, his tone a cold warning. Young Miss Lan, if you thought Yifan was a soft persimmon for you to squeeze, you were gravely mistaken. I don't go looking for trouble, but I'm not afraid of being troubled either. After speaking, he gently took the hairpin that the young master had put in Lan Xinger's hair. If you dare provoke me again, he clenched the hairpin in his hand, it will end like this. Instantly, the hairpin was crushed into fragments before Lan Xinger's astonished eyes. Yifan stood up, turned his back to leave. All right, the show's over. Goodbye. Just then, the young master ran in, pushing the surrounding crowd aside and shouting loudly, Make way for this young master! He quickly helped Lan Xinger up, worriedly asking, Xinger, are you all right? Lan Xinger was silent for a moment, then replied, Lin Yunkai, I've changed my mind. I don't need you to kill Yifan anymore. I want him to live a life worse than death. Hearing this, the young master looked bewildered. He is Yifan! Lan Xinger pounded his chest, her voice full of indignation. That's right. Do you know that lowly commoner just humiliated me? If you can't do it, then our engagement is off. The young master's jaw dropped, eyes wide. Wait, Xinger, he's the mysterious person who snatched the Banshan Jue and Deng Tianling last month. Lan Xinger froze. What did you say? I know you've always wanted to enter the Holy Land for cultivation, so I planned to bid for the Deng Tianling to make you happy, but unexpectedly he snatched it midway. I also sent people to follow him once, but he used a trick to escape and disappeared without a trace since then. Lan Xinger bit her fingernail, murmuring, Who exactly is he? No, I must report this to father immediately. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Yifan just woke up, yawned long. My own bed is still more comfortable. He turned his head towards the Piao Shubu technique book he bought yesterday. It has a total of 108 variations, very complex. But after the laws on Earth simplified it, I understood everything in just one night. This is no different from hacking. With the power of Shadow Fist combined with the speed of Piao Shubu, Yifan was confident that even facing a peak blood condensation realm martial artist, he could still win. After finishing his thoughts, he planned to go downstairs to buy some cultivation resources, and then return. But just as he reached to open the door, he unexpectedly ran into the landlady with an angry expression. Sister Guo, the landlady, was already standing there and questioned him sharply. "Ifan, why are you home but not replying to messages? Why didn't you open the door when I knocked just now?" Ifan awkwardly replied, "Sister Guo, sorry, I was sleeping in my room just now, so I didn't hear." Inwardly, he lamented, "Oh no, I was busy cultivating and forgot today is rent day." Sister Guo flew into a rage, her eyes blazing like a lioness, shouting loudly, "Don't think you can just brush this off. I told you pay the full rent at the end of the month. Where's the money?" Ifan quickly knelt, handing her a few coins. "Sister, take this first. I still need to keep 200 for living expenses. Next month, I'll definitely pay in full." Sister Guo grabbed his collar, sternly saying, "Ifan, what's wrong with you? Even working as a waiter, you can earn 300 to 400 a month. You're so healthy, why can't you even pay the rent?" Ifan could only scratch his head and smile, thinking, busy cultivating in another world during the day, only earning a little money at night. Naturally, I can't earn much. Surprisingly, Sister Guo handed back the few coins and told him to take them. Ifan was surprised, but she said, "Take it. How can you live on 200? Remember to pay in full next month." Ifan was grateful. "Thank you, Sister Guo." Afterwards, he had to get on his scooter to work as a delivery driver to make a living. Worrying about an order about to be late, he lamented inwardly, "In the other world, no worries about food or clothes, spending money like water. Back on Earth, I revert to my original form." Just then, he saw an ad, "Li Hao female, 28 years old, 168 cm tall, fair, smooth skin, charming, wealthy businesswoman. Because of a car accident that lost the ability to give birth, currently seeking a healthy young man to fulfill dream of motherhood. Compensation, 300,000. If satisfied, 100,000 advance payment. Contact, blah blah blah." Ifan was wondering whether to risk it for fortune when his phone rang. "Hello, Dad. Why are you calling?" But immediately after his expression changed. "Okay, wait a moment. I'll be right there." When he arrived at Hangcheng Hospital, it was already dark. In the hospital room, his mother lay in bed. His father beside her said, "Son, I was caught drunk driving no insurance. The house is mortgaged to the bank, borrowed from all friends and relatives. Still short 300,000 for treatment costs, no guarantee your mother will wake up. Mom and Dad are sorry, son." Ifan patted his father's shoulder comfortingly. "Dad, don't say that, we're family. I'll figure something out." After speaking, he left under his father's hopeful gaze. Under the streetlights, Ifan thought alone. Misfortune really does pick on the poor. Just then he heard cries for help from afar. A gang of thugs was grabbing a white-haired girl. Despite her struggles, "Let me go." They beat up her guards and shouted loudly, "Catch her, don't let her escape." Just then Ifan appeared from behind that man, landing a kick on his pig-like face, sending him rolling down screaming in pain like a castrated pig. At that moment, the white-haired girl also turned back and witnessed the scene, letting out a surprised gasp. Ifan, after knocking down one, turned to kick another's leg coldly, asking, "A bunch of scum like you dare bully a girl here?" With just a loud bang, that man was sent flying by Ifan, clutching his leg and screaming miserably, "My leg, my leg!" A spectacled man in the group saw this and shouted loudly, "Brothers, get him for me!" He cursed inwardly. Damn it, weren't the bodyguards with this girl already dealt with? How come there's another guy? Saying that, he charged, throwing a heavy punch towards Ifan, roaring, "This brat die." But Ifan quickly dodged hand, clenched into a fist, smiling slightly. Very good, just as expected. Just one heavy blow to the chin, and that guy immediately collapsed. Ifan thought, although my cultivation level from the other world doesn't completely convert equivalently, through training my body has developed muscle memory. Whether it's flexibility or resistance, both have significantly increased. Soon the entire group was knocked down, leaving only the spectacled man standing stunned, watching his companions fall like figs, unable to believe it. Less than 3 minutes to defeat 7 well-trained men. What kind of martial art is this terrifying? But the next second, Ifan appeared right in front of him, hand ready to grab his face. The man panicked, unable to react. When did he get here? Just one heavy blow to the head, and he also fell unconscious. A thought flashed through his mind. Impossible to beat him. Fighting him is like hitting a stone with an egg. The entire group being defeated left the white-haired girl standing dumbfounded. Ifan walked over coldly, asking, Hey, are you injured? I don't know why they targeted you, but it's best you go home immediately. The girl quickly turned back, hesitatingly saying, Wait, thank you, but could you take me home? Yifan bent down to pick up his company jacket, shook his head. Sorry, I still have deliveries to make. If I'm late, my pay gets docked. If you're scared, I can help call the police, wait for them to arrive. The girl didn't hesitate, grabbed Yifan's hand, proposing, Take me home, I'll pay you 1 million, consider it repayment for saving my life. Hearing this, Yifan tossed the jacket aside, laughing loudly. All right then, tell me the address quickly, girl. At the Tang family villa, Yifan brought the girl home. She quickly said, Sorry, Yifan, let me go in and tell everyone I'm safe first. Just as she was about to step in, both suddenly heard angry shouting, What have you people done? A woman stood before the trembling guards, furiously yelling, If anything happens to Wrong, all of you commit suicide on the spot. The guards knelt flat on the ground, saying in unison, Eldest miss, we will definitely find the second miss. But just then the woman heard familiar footsteps and turned to look. Before her was the white-haired girl and Yifan standing behind. He scratched his head, politely saying, Hello, first time meeting, I'm Yifan. The white-haired girl trembled, burst into tears. Sister, I'm back. Then she rushed into her sister's embrace, sobbing, Sister, I won't wander off anymore. The elder sister quickly hugged her younger sister, sighing in relief. It's good you're back. It's good you're safe. Yifan stood there smiling as he watched the sisters reunite. After sitting down and talking for a bit, the elder sister understood the situation and thanked Yifan. Thank you for saving my sister. If you don't mind, I'd like to host a banquet for you. Yifan gently waved his hand, declining, No need to be so polite. It's just that your sister promised to pay me 1 million as a reward, so… Hearing this, the elder sister suddenly glared, shouting in astonishment, What? That child said 1 million as a reward. What a rip-off. When Yifan's eyes met the sister's terrifying expression, he immediately shivered quickly, swallowing his words. Ahem. Consider that I said nothing. Inwardly, he told himself, There really is no free lunch falling from the sky. Forget it. Initially, I just wanted to help because I saw injustice, didn't expect anything in return anyway. But the next moment, the sister gently patted the white-haired girl Wrong's head and sternly said, My sister's life Tang Kilwo is only worth 1 million. Are you devaluing yourself and looking down on this sister? This scene made Yifan's jaw drop, unable to believe his eyes. The sister took out a bank card and handed it to him, her tone gentle yet powerful. Inside here is 100 million. Just a small gift, consider it a token from our Tang group. Yifan was stunned. Wait, Tang group? Are you talking about the Tang group worth over 50 billion in the market? That's right. The sister nodded. But this amount still cannot fully repay what you did for my sister. Our Tang family owes you a great debt. If you need anything in the future, just ask. Before the sister could finish, Yifan proactively took her hand and said, No need to wait for later. Right now I have a favor to ask, can you help? And so 3 days later in the hospital, everything was arranged properly. The sister stood beside Yifan, her tone reassuring, Rest assured. We have invited 5 top experts from home and abroad to research the surgical plan. I believe your aunt. I understand how you feel. My parents also passed away early, so I only have this younger sister left. Therefore, no matter what, I don't want anything to happen to her. Sister Tang, thank you so much this time. If you need anything in the future, Yifan will definitely not refuse. Actually, I have a favor to ask, the sister said. Could you spend some time training the bodyguard team of our Tang group? Immediately, the entire group of bodyguards stepped out, bowing in unison. Please guide us, master. This scene made Yifan just sigh inwardly. Train what now? The sister continued. Actually, I previously sent people to investigate Wrong's attack. My guess wasn't wrong. It was done by rivals hiring people aiming to control the Tang group. But one thing surprised me greatly. Those attackers are still hospitalized, unable to recover, seemingly still suffering psychological trauma. The sister glanced at Yifan. Although I don't know what you did, could you teach my people a little to improve their skills? Yifan scratched his head, thought for a moment. Actually, it requires practical combat experience and some small tricks. It won't take too much time, half a month at most. As for compensation, you can propose it yourself. The sister smiled, her tone persuasive. Then it's decided. I will arrange the time so it doesn't interfere with your daily life. After everything was settled, Yifan watched the sister's departing figure, thinking inwardly, it's good too, I can use this time to be with Mom. After half a month of training the martial artists at the Tang family's martial hall, Yifan returned home sighing wearily. Finally, the final stage. He activated the ring on his hand, telling himself, things here are settled, it's time to go back and see how things are. And so he transmigrated to the cultivation world full of questions. Busy for half a month without returning, I wonder how Uncle Tai and Roro are doing after returning to Mu Village. But as soon as he appeared, the scene before him made his pupils contract. Mu Village was now just a pile of ruins, the sign twisted. Surroundings engulfed in a sea of fire. Yifan's jaw dropped, unable to believe it. How could this happen? He quickly ran around, shouting loudly, Roro, Uncle Tai, Uncle Nam, where is everyone? Just then, Nalan appeared, sighing, you finally returned. We've been waiting here for you. Conversely, in the warehouse of Wanbao Pavilion, the surviving Mu villagers were preparing to face the enemy, their bodies covered in bandages. The door suddenly opened, startling everyone, who shouted, who's there? Only to see Yifan and Nalan walk in. He spoke, Uncle Tai, Uncle Nam, it's me, Yifan. Everyone quickly ran over, exclaiming, Yifan, you're back, it's Yifan, Yifan has returned, Yifan patted Uncle Tai's shoulder, saying, Uncle Tai, seeing everyone okay, is really… But he suddenly noticed Uncle Tai's right arm was gone. Uncle Tai, your right arm. He looked around, seeing everyone had either lost limbs or was severely injured. Uncle Tai patted Yifan's shoulder, comforting, it's okay, just lost an arm. Luckily everyone survived, right? Suddenly Yifan remembered Roro, shouting, wait, where's Roro? Why don't I see her? At the mention of Roro, everyone fell silent. The little girl was severely burned, her whole body wrapped in bandages like a mummy. The old doctor was tending to her, gently saying, good girl, Roro, we have to clean the wounds and change the medicine, then the pain will stop. Layer by layer, the bandages were removed, revealing deep burns on her body. Roro looked at her reflection in the water, unable to believe it was her. The girl knocked over the basin of water, screaming, I don't want medicine, Grandpa Tai, let me die. Boo-hoo, I don't want to live like a monster. But just then, a hand gently patted the back of her neck. Yifan held Roro in his arms, comforting, good girl, Roro, just sleep for a while and it'll be okay. The girl hugged Yifan tightly, sobbing, big brother Yifan. You finally came back. Nalan walked over, saying, her life was saved, but the burns are too severe. Almost no part of her body is unharmed. A little girl, beautiful as a flower in the prime of her innocent youth. I don't know how she'll live the rest of her life. Yifan's face was cold, his voice harsh. Who did this? Nalan frowned. The main culprits are the Lin family and also the City Lord's mansion. Conversely, at the City Lord's mansion, the City Lord sat high above, asking, speak what happened today. At his feet was a pile of treasures. The young master of the Lin family beside him flattered, Uncle Lin, your nephew has nothing major. It's just that I had people collect some Yang spirit stones and now wish to gift them to Uncle Lin. Consider it a small token. Please accept it. The City Lord burst out laughing, voice full of satisfaction. These spirit stones are indeed not bad. You've really lost your mind. Shinger's eyes are indeed sharp. You are truly a good person. He also smiled back. It's good that Uncle likes them. Just then that young miss spoke up, her voice cold. Humph, only knows how to flatter my father. And where is that brat Yifan? Why hasn't he been found after so long? Didn't you promise to satisfy me? Is that all the skill you have? He quickly ran over, fanning her to ease her anger, saying, Shinger, calm down, calm down. At this moment, the City Lord above finally spoke, his voice deep and steady. Shinger, stop messing around. This Yifan suddenly appeared, his financial resources vast, comparable to an empire. Previously, I heard from Kair that he even defeated a group of assassination gate masters and even hired them back. His strength is unfathomable. Catching this person cannot be rushed. Hearing this, she finally looked up, eyes full of dissatisfaction. Humph. He smiled. All right, Father already knows about the grievances you suffered at Wanbao Pavilion. Father told Kair to take you to wipe out Mu Village. Consider it venting your anger. Don't torment him anymore. The young master then cupped his fists, saying, "But when we handled the bodies, we discovered that among the 37 lowly commoners of Mu village, more than 10 were missing. It's unclear where the remaining ones went. Could they have been rescued by someone else? Then issue a citywide wanted order. The remnants of Mu village and that Yifan. Dig 3 feet deep if you must find them for me." Meanwhile, at Yifan's residence, Nalan recounted what had happened to him. That's basically the situation. I have some connections in Liuyun City. Hearing that the city lord's mansion planned to wipe out the village, I immediately arranged for people to go rescue them. Unfortunately, the Lin family acted too quickly. By the time my people arrived, the whole village couldn't be saved anymore. At that time, Nalan recalled ordering her subordinates, "You few go check the other side, see if anyone can still be saved." Only a few were still alive. The rest were all killed in the sea of fire. Even many young children lost their lives. At that time, Rorwo hid in a rice vat and escaped death, but because the fire was too intense, she suffered severe burns. Mentioning this, Nalan could only sigh. With my abilities, that's all I could do. Conversely, Yifan was very grateful, cupping his fists. "Shopkeeper Nalan, this favor I, Yifan, will remember clearly." Hearing that, she then asked, "Young Master Bai, what do you plan to do now?" Ivan's eyes flashed with killing intent, his voice harsh, "Kill." However, Nalan thought this action was foolish and reminded him, "No, both the city lord's mansion and the Lin family have blood condensation realm martial artists, and more than just one. That city lord Lan Xian, his strength has reached the marrow cleansing realm 5th stage physical body. Even 5 horses couldn't tear his body apart. Moreover, I heard he also has a high-grade defensive magic weapon. You won't be able to kill him." But Yifan remained unmoved, speaking, "Although I don't like killing, if anyone kills my relatives or friends, I will definitely show no mercy. 5th stage physical body, so what? I still want to kill them. But before that, please take care of them for me. Right now, I still have more important things to do." Saying that, Yifan returned to Earth and went to Yahello Tang to buy Coptis ligusticum philodendron Borneol Elscholzia. The young pharmacist curiously asked, "Hey brother, does someone in your family have burns? Why have you been buying only burn treatment medicine lately? Is the condition very serious?" Yifan held the medicine bottle, his expression contemplative, seemingly unwilling to say more. "Don't ask about this." Hearing this, the young man replied gently, "All right, take your time." Inwardly, he thought, although a valued customer, always so mysterious, truly a strange person. At the airport, Yifan appeared with his parents. The father asked, "Yifan, are you really not going traveling with Mom and Dad?" Yifan waved goodbye, saying, "Mom, Dad, just go travel without worry. Don't worry about money matters. There's 500,000 in the card, all money I earned from training. Enough for you two to enjoy yourselves there for half a year. Mom just recovered. It's perfect timing for Dad to accompany her to relax." Hearing this, the mother raised her hand, her eyes full of reluctance to part. The father patted his wife's shoulder, saying, "Our son is grown up now. He has his own things to do. Family should be solid support, not a burden holding him back." At Yifan's rented room, a phone gently rang. The landlady sweetly walked over, picked up the phone, and sighed. "It's so late, who's sending so many messages?" On the phone was a series of messages from Yifan. "Sister Guo, I need to be away for a while for some business. The rent I owed, I've already transferred directly to your account. Consider the remaining amount as advance rent payment. About before. Thank you so much." The landlady chuckled softly. No mistake. Knows how to show gratitude and even paid rent in advance. Seems he found a good job. But hopefully it's not the type who puts up a front while living miserably. Next month he'll be drinking the northwest wind again. But immediately after seeing 100,000 added to her account, the landlady's jaw dropped, screaming, "Wait, what's this? 100,000? What on earth did this brat do?" In the cultivation world, Yifan held a medicine flask, asking, "Dr. Tai, are these medicinal materials effective?" The doctor looked at the flask, stroked his beard. "According to ancient secret formulas, it's not wrong. But I really want to know, how could you collect so many miraculous medicinal materials?" Yifan paused. "Holy crap, was that fast? I actually found it very slow. The weight limit of the ancient ring is limited. These past few days I could only go back and forth in batches to bring them over. The doctor looked at Yi Fan, sighing. Just one medicinal catalyst among these is already priceless. Young Master Chen's loyalty to his friends is truly as high as the heavens, as deep as the sea. At this moment, Nalan came over and asked, "Is the medicine ready?" Ivan handed her the flask, entrusted to you. She took it, reassuring. "Don't worry." Little Roruo below looked up teary-eyed. "Big brother Ifan, can I really return to how I was before?" Ifan patted her head. "Trust me. Wait until you recover, I'll buy you 10 beautiful outfits. Don't you really like beautiful clothes?" Not long after, a clang sound echoed. The mirror was dropped and shattered. Hearing the noise, Ifan and the doctor rushed to open the door, asking loudly, "What happened?" Only to see Roro completely changed, the burns completely healed. The girl stood stunned with joy. "Big brother Ifan, I really recovered." The girl got up from the bed, feeling no discomfort at all. "So embarrassing, I was too surprised, that's why I broke the mirror." The doctor waved his hand. Ruo, these old bones of mine were scared by you. I thought something terrible had happened." Ifan patted her head, saying, "Ruo has become even more beautiful than before." Ruo happily said, "Thank you, big brother Ifan." Nalan stood behind her, eyes full of suspicion, as she looked at Yifan. She couldn't help but wonder. Daring to enter the Jianghu with just a few dragon-tail grass stalks, and even carrying an endless treasure trove of spirit medicines, where exactly did he come from? While she was pondering, Yifan walked closer, handing her a dragon-tail grass stalk. "Shopkeeper Nalan, consider these stalks my thank-you gift. Additionally, I have another favor to ask of you." Nalan smiled, nodding. "Young master, please speak." Yifan was direct. "Bring out all the high-grade martial techniques from Wanbao Pavilion. At the same time, I need a quiet place for closed-door cultivation as soon as possible." Soon after, at a suburban mountain villa, a table of beast blood was laid out. Yifan slowly drank bowl after bowl of blood, but still felt it wasn't enough. He thought, "I'm still a whole major realm away from Lan Qian's marrow-cleansing realm. I must quickly shorten the distance." After finishing the blood, he gripped his sword tightly and began practicing his techniques. A single slash from him flew out, felling all the trees in front. After practicing the sword, he continued drinking beast blood, then rushed back into the deep forest to cultivate. Dr. Tai witnessed this, astonished. "I say, shopkeeper, how many technique sets did you give him exactly? He's been practicing non-stop like this for days and nights. Will he be all right? Also, maybe my old eyes are deceiving me, but he drinks high-level demonic beast blood like water. Could he not be an ordinary person?" Nalan just gently patted Dr. Tai's shoulder, saying, "Dr. Tai, it's better to know less about Jianghu matters. Now, no matter what he does, I won't be surprised anymore." Time passed quickly, from dark night to the next morning, day and night alternating. But Yifan continued to cultivate diligently, until one day all the trees in the forest were felled by him. A loud laugh echoed, "Ha ha ha, I finally broke through. 4th stage physical body blood condensation realm, I've reached it." At this moment, Nalan approached with her subordinates, saying, "Young Master Bai, you are truly powerful. Breaking through to the late-stage blood condensation realm in just half a month." Yifan turned back, replying, "These past few days, many thanks, shopkeeper Nalan. I'm about to take action. If I don't return tomorrow, please protect Roruo and Uncle Tai, get them out of the city far away from this place." As soon as he finished, Nalan handed him a brocade box. "Please keep this, young master." Yifan opened the box. Inside was a talisman emitting dense blood qi. He asked, "What is this?" Nalan explained, "This is the Manghu talisman. After use, it can enhance a martial artist's strength to the maximum. The other talisman is a body protection talisman. It can resist powerful attacks, effective for half an incense stick's time. Hopefully, it will be helpful to young master." Additionally, she gave him a sword. "This is the Zhan Shejian, one of the famous swords of Yan country. It's said to protect its owner. I deliberately acquired it from other pavilions for young master's use." Yifan didn't hesitate to accept. "Many thanks, shopkeeper Nalan. This money I will—" But she interrupted, "No need. We met by chance. Young Master Bai is willing to risk his life to avenge Mu village. Nalanu greatly admires this, and is also willing to lend young master a hand. I hope young master succeeds and returns victorious." Ivan nodded, heart full of gratitude. "Then many thanks. This favor Ifan will engrave in his heart." Just like that, at the Lin mansion, a familiar pair of feet appeared again. The guards saw Yi Fan and shouted, "Who goes there? This is the important territory of the Lin mansion." But before they could finish, Yi Fan swept past like a gust of wind, the sword in his hand flashing, finishing off the entire group of lackeys, causing them to collapse to the ground, reunited with their ancestors. Yi Fan strode inside, his voice cold. "I am here, the one to take your dog lives. The revenge begins now." Meanwhile, in the mansion, the father and son duo of the young master were still unaware of Yi Fan's attack. The young master smugly said, "Father, rest assured. As long as I can get close to the city lord's mansion, it won't be long before I marry Jinger. At that time, Liu Yun City will surely belong to our family." The fat man beside him, his father, held two girls in his arms, laughing heartily. "Ha ha ha, truly the son of the wealthy Lin family, a bright future ahead." Just then a loud noise from outside startled them both. The young master blankly asked, "What was that sound?" Before they could understand what happened, a guard was thrown inside, screaming miserably. The father and son were shocked and furious. The young master quickly stood up, roaring, Who dares cause trouble at my Lin family? Come out now." Just then, Yi Fan appeared, with a cold expression stepped inside, his gaze sharp. "We meet again, young Master Lin." Seeing him, the father and son exclaimed in terror, "Yi Fan!" But immediately after, the young master burst out laughing, full of mockery. "Ha ha ha! Truly heaven's ill fate, I was looking for you and you delivered yourself to my door." Before finishing his words, he disappeared, reappearing right in front of Yi Fan, throwing a powerful punch, roaring, "Today I will capture you and personally hand you over to Jinger for disposal. Take this fist." But in response, Yi Fan simply raised his hand gently to block the blow. Then with a lightning-fast move broke his arm. The young master jumped up, screaming miserably, "My arm! You dare break my arm!" Although outwardly arrogant, inwardly he was terrified to the extreme. When did he break through to the late-stage blood condensation realm? Yi Fan smirked slightly, his voice full of contempt. "I don't just dare break your arm." As soon as he finished, he lowered his body, unleashing a leg sweep that made the young master fall flat on his face. "I also dare break your legs, give you a real beating." With a loud bang, the young master was beaten until he rolled on the ground, screaming miserably. Seeing his son being beaten, the fat man jumped up, shouting loudly, "Kyre!" The young master clutched his broken arm, enduring the pain as he looked towards his father. "Father, run, quickly call the city lord here." The fat man hurriedly ran off, shouting, "Okay, Kyre, hold on." But just then, Yi Fan was like a gust of wind appearing right in front of the fat man, making his heart pound. Still want to run? One hand grabbed his fatty neck, lifting him high, pressing him against a pillar, his voice icy, "Isn't it a bit too late?" The fat man was terrified beyond measure, caught by the neck like a chicken, unable to struggle, only able to rasp out, You can't kill us." Yi Fan frowned slightly, killing intent flashing in his eyes. "Why?" The fat man quickly replied, "The matter of Mu Village, my son and I were just following the city lord's orders. If you kill us, Lord City Lord will not spare you." Hearing his words, Yi Fan let out an involuntary, "Oh." Just then, the young master crawled over, shouting loudly, "That's right. Jinger and I are already engaged. Consider me half the city lord's son-in-law. You dare touch my father and me." But before he could finish, only a crack sound was heard. The fat man's neck was snapped by Yi Fan's hand, like a chicken's, dying instantly, going to reunite with his ancestors. Witnessing his father's neck being snapped, the young master's jaw dropped, screaming, "Father, Y-N-D, Y-E-N." Yi Fan dropped the fat man's corpse, glancing coldly at the young master, his voice full of sarcasm. "Try, then try." The young master was now trembling with fear, forgetting his broken arm, stammering, Unexpectedly, you really dared." Less than 1 second later, he knelt down at Nat Fan's feet, slammed his head on the ground, begged by Nat Fan not to kill me. "I vowed to hand over the whole Lin family, all assets to you. Please, don't kill me." Yi Fan chuckled softly, his voice full of mockery. "The Lin family's assets truly laughable. Packing up your entire Lin family, how much would it be worth? 1 million gold, or 5 million? Considering you're about to die, I don't mind telling you just casually taking out one medicinal herb is worth tens of millions, even over 100 million gold. Tell me, do I need to even consider your Lin family? The last glimmer of hope vanished. The young master was terrified to the point of tears, face distorted. This. Sorry, I was wrong. Spare me, don't kill me. Yifan gently placed his hand on his head, his voice cold. No need to apologize to me. If you truly regret it, then go down there with your father and atone for the dead of Mu village. A crack sound echoed. The young master's neck was also snapped like a fowl's, dying instantly. Yifan stood proudly like an inviolable statue. After that moment he softly said, "City Lord's mansion." As soon as he finished speaking, Yifan's figure gradually faded, disappearing into space. Soon after, at the City Lord's mansion, a subordinate rushed in, shouting loudly, "Bad news!" The City Lord was resting his cheek on his hand, eyes closed in thought. Hearing this, he opened his eyes, asking urgently, "What is it?" The subordinate knelt down, reporting, "City Lord, bad news. News just came from the Lin mansion. The Lin family has been attacked." The City Lord's fierce eyes widened like a wild beast's, roaring, "Speak, what exactly happened?" The subordinate quickly replied, "According to the escapee, a young man named Yifan came for revenge, killed quite a few people in the mansion already." Hearing the name, Yifan, the city Lord's jaw dropped. He immediately ordered, "Quick relay my command. Immediately seal all entrances and exits, large and small, of Liu Yun City. Tell Generals Bing Ling and Yu Lei to lead 300 armored guards and follow me to the Lin mansion to capture the villain." Saying that, he immediately summoned the troops, cursing inwardly, "Damn it, wasn't this brat already dead?" He mounted his horse, shouting loudly to the two subordinates below, "Yuan Tao Xiebing, you two stay at the mansion. Protect the eldest miss. If there's any movement, report immediately." The two men respectfully acknowledged, subordinate obeys. The entire group immediately set off, heading straight for the Lin mansion. At the same time, the young miss returned from outside, opened the curtain to look out, asking, "General Z, General Yuan, where is my father going in such a hurry?" The general cupped his fists, replying, "Greetings, eldest miss, probably going to capture an important court criminal." "Capture an important criminal? Then why aren't you going?" the young miss asked again. The general replied, "Lord City Lord instructed us to stay at the mansion to guard against any mishaps." The young miss nodded, stepped down from the carriage, lightly kicked a servant's back. "All right, you guard outside the courtyard. I'll call if anything happens." Entering the mansion, the young miss thought, "Father is really strange. My City Lord's mansion has 4 generals each, a blood condensation expert. Father is also at the marrow cleansing realm. Which blind fool dares attack my City Lord's mansion, afraid they've eaten tiger's liver and bear's gall?" Ahead, a servant respectfully addressed her, "Young miss, this servant will attend to your rest. Which nightgown do you prefer today?" When her eyes accidentally fell upon the outfit hanging high up, she immediately looked annoyed and asked, "Why is this outfit still here?" The servant beside her quickly replied, sweat pouring down, "Young Master Lin said this outfit is extremely valuable." She frowned, showing disgust and contempt. "That bitch Mu Roruo isn't even worthy to lick my shoes. How could her clothes be so good? Only that idiot Lin Yunkai would treat it as a treasure and secretly gift it to me. Throw it away quickly. Just looking at it is annoying. Those lowly commoners from Mu village remembering them just makes me angry. And that Yifan snatched my Dung Tian Ling. If I meet him again, I'll chop off his head without hesitation." Just as she finished speaking, surprisingly several servants in the mansion collapsed unconscious. This scene startled her worriedly. "Honger Luer, what's wrong with you?" Just then, Yifan appeared from behind, like a ghost, his voice demonic. "Young Miss Lan, how exactly do you plan to chop off my head?" His voice echoing beside her ear startled her heart, pounding erratically. How are you here? This is the City Lord's mansion. You dare barge into my mansion." While she trembled in fear, Yifan slowly approached, making her so scared she could barely stand. "City Lord's mansion, so what?" She screamed, "You don't come closer, guards! There's an assassin!" Yifan crossed his arms, watched her scream, until her voice was hoarse, then shook his head. Now, no need to shout so loudly." The 100 guards in your courtyard, including the 2 blood condensation generals, have all been killed by me." Looking outside, the guards were just dried corpses. Hearing this, her heart felt like stopping. Fear enveloped her entire body. Yi Fan alone killed 2 blood condensation generals in an instant without even a sound. Yi Fan's murderous gaze flashed Han, drawing his sword. "Lanzinger, do you know why I came here? I warned you before, don't provoke me." His sword pressed against her neck. "Wiping out Mu village was your and Lin Yunkai's plan, right?" She trembled, unable to stand, kneeling to beg. Don't kill me. Yi Fan, I beg you, spare me. I'm only 18, I don't want to die yet. I'll do anything you want, just don't kill me." Yi Fan replied with bloodshot eyes, "Ruoruo is only 13. The children you burned to death in Mu village, some couldn't even walk yet. What crime did they commit?" She screamed, "Yi Fan, I was wrong, don't kill me. I'm still a virgin, don't you find it a pity?" Saying this, she started removing her outer robe, revealing the thin inner layer.